In this instructional video, we're going to take a look at how to draw a basic isometric maze. Now, what we're going to need are some basic tools. We will need to have a pencil, an eraser, some colored pencils, some way to draw some straight lines, whether we use a protractor or we use a small ruler, and of course, we're going to need some isometric paper. This time, we're going to use a little larger grid. The thing we need to remember when we're working and starting to create an isometric maze is that, again, we have a vertical line in our grid. Then we have the line that's going in this diagonal, which is going to be showing us the width of our object. And then the final line is going to be showing the depth, or how far back our objects are going. We are going to be concerned with the width and the depth first. We'll fill in these vertical lines at the end. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is identify our starting point, and I'm going to circle the top of one of my grid cubes. And we have to also identify our finish point. And again, I'm going to circle another top of our isometric cube. And here is my little cube right down here. And this is the little cube that I am starting with over here on this side. Now what you need to do is, following the path that's going to be showing us the depth and the width only, you're going to sketch along, and again, make sure that you're thinking about where this is going to be the correct path, where we're going to go in our maze. And as you're working with this, again, as you're sketching along, figuring out, coloring the width of our path, you can go in any design path that you would like to go. Just remember, don't go side by side. You need to have at least one open space in between your path. And again, we have to make sure that we are going only in the depth or the width directions. So again, what I have sketched out, this is my true path, or my correct path for my maze. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in the paper with my incorrect path. And again, these should not be side by side. And again, you have to remember that you're going in either the width or the depth lines only. And as you're sketching through, these can go in any way, and they can loop back onto each other. Because remember, these are your incorrect path where you're going to go, and you can join up with what you had previously made. And the idea is to create an interesting path for your maze. Now that we've created our path, we will need to use a Sharpie pen to outline our path that we'd like to go on. So again, I want to make sure that my lines are nice and neat. And again, remember the fact that Sharpies sometimes bleed through paper, so make sure you have some scrap paper underneath as you begin to do this. And again, using your straight edge, you can, and I'm going to add a little bit here because my path is a little bit long and boring. So I'm going to add a couple loops in there. And again, as you're working, the idea is just to draw the outlining edge of your path. Okay, so now I've worked most of the way around the maze, and I'm trying to connect all my little corner pieces that I have and looking for little areas that I maybe missed. Now the next part of the maze is pretty easy. It's now time to finish out our isometric drawing. We're ready to give this maze some of its height that we need to have. So as you're working with it, I'm going to start at every corner and I'm going to go down 3 grid squares. And all of these lines are going to be in the vertical position. So from every corner, I am going to drop down 3 squares, and you can choose step is we are again going to close out all of these blocks that we just created. So now you're going to move around and you're going to draw in all of these so that we can consistently have a base. Everywhere that it is facing to the front or this way in the drawing, I am going to color it in the darker blue. So this face is, again, it's working towards the front, so it gets the darker blue. Have all of my surfaces done with the dark blue, everything that pointed to this front surface. Now I'm going to be working with everything that's on the right side. So everything that's pointing this way, I'm going to color with the yellow. And again, have our maze all colored. Now the last procedure that you need to do is this pencil sketching that we did to lay out our path. It's now time to erase it. So take your time and you want to erase all that pencil sketching. So hopefully you drew it nice and light. It should not be dark. And then you should be able to erase it pretty easily. Now that I've cleaned out the path, if you'd like to mark your starting point, now you can draw a small little flag up here in the top to signify that that's the start, and another little flag over here at the end to signify that that's the finish. And your project is all done. One practice maze ready to share.